Hey guys, welcome back to the channel in episode 2 of Building the Bag. We're talking about approach putters, so let's get into it. Alright guys, in order to make this video a little bit more simplistic, the only thing I'm going to be focusing on today is overstable approach putters. But really quickly, I will tell you what I'm going to be using for my kind of neutral or understable putters that I throw off the tee. The first is going to be this really beat up Rico. I throw this for nice flip up shots to go straight or nice panning turnover shots. It doesn't fight out very much, really understable, great option off the tee. Its big brother is this Glow Rico. This is a little bit more stable. I can throw it really hard and flat and it's going to have a nice finish at the end. This one I throw a lot off the tee and really enjoy this as well. For that more perfectly straight line, I go with the Rico X. This one's a little bit beat in. I have another Glow Rico X that's a little bit more stable than this, but I'll continue to throw this until it gets too flippy, and then I might change it out for the regular Rico for my turnover disc. And then, shout out to We Die. Look at this awesome die. The Berg. I mean, who doesn't love the Berg? This I can throw backhand. This I can throw even forehand. This is a really great disc, and when it hits the ground, it just stays. It's such a great disc. So those 4 discs I use for approaches, but the more overstable option, I'm still kind of in that in between. And so today I got 3 options. The first is what I threw all last year, and it's this Chris Clemens Culprit. This thing is really great. It has a nice beveled edge here that fits perfect for my forehand. I love this disc for forehand. The other one is going to be this Crystal Flex Get Greaky Zone. Shout out Brody Smith. I've used this disc a ton in the past, and it's just a comfortable disc. Who doesn't love a zone, right? The Get Freaky version is a little bit more overstable, which is what I'm looking for. And so this is also definitely a contender. Lastly is going to be the Kastaplast version of those 2, the Yarn. The Yarn is going to be a little bit faster than those 2, but it's going to have that same similar beveled edge that you get to most overstable approach putters. And this one also feels really comfortable in my hand for forehand. The ones I'm not considering are like the Tactic and the Harp, the Slammer, Sake Bomb Slammer. Those ones are just a little too deep for me, and I'm looking for one that I can throw backhand and forehand. So today, we're at my local course. We're going to play a couple holes. I'm going to throw all 3 of those, going to cycle through them, and we're going to decide at the very end which overstable approach disc I'm going to use in my bag. I'm going to start with the Culprit. I'm going to go out wide with the simple hyzer, have it come back to the basket. That is stable. All right, onto the zone. Going to give it a little bit more width. That's pretty good. Daddy. Yeah? You want a snack? Hang on, son. All right. Lastly, we got the Yarn. You can see my Culprit that I didn't give enough credit to its overstability. But these are all pretty good shots. All right, the next thing we're going to test out is distance. This is a full shot, 320 feet, right down there. So I'm going to put a little bit of flex on this, see if I can hold that, fight out of it, and come back towards the basket. Going with the zone first. Yay! Yay! All right, Yarn's next. Didn't really fight out like I wanted. Oh yeah. That one definitely fought out. And then the Culprit. Daddy. Daddy, 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 daddy. Alright, Culprit probably most stable of the 3. But we have more holes to play. Alright, up next is touchy approaches. I want to make sure I feel comfortable in this 150, 125 range with this little touch forehand. This is what I've been struggling with this year, so finding an overstable approach disc that can do this is going to be key. In the wood chips, Culprit. Hopefully you can see how they're digging. That's what I want whenever I'm throwing overstable forehand approaches, that they dig into the ground, they don't roll away a lot. That zone is a little straighter than I remember. But right now it is pretty close. I like all of them. They feel really good. The zone, probably looking for something a little bit more overstable than it. So right now it's on the bottom of the barrel, but you never know. After this round, I might change my mind. 225 downhill, Culprit. Not a good ace run. Try again. All right, a little closer. All right, forehands this time. Let's see if I can't get a little closer. Oh, so short. Gotta get some juice. All right, not very good. This one's 175, right there. So, sorry with the yarn. I'm gonna get it close this time. Ooh. Too high. All right, 6 throws in, and I'm still not quite sure which one I like. Depending on the shot, I might be able to use each of them interchangeably. So what's really the defining factor is which one feels most comfortable and which one I feel most confident in. Well, we got 3 more shots to throw, so we'll throw those, and then I'll give my final decision at the end. It's a 300-foot shot, but this is kind of up and then down. This is going to be pretty far for any of these discs, but we'll throw each one, see how far I can throw them, how close I can get to the basket. That's going to help also decide which one I choose. All right, that was pretty short. That was the Culprit. Go zone. Last one, yarn. All those are short, but we'll see which one went the farthest. All right, all roughly the same spot, but zone was ironically the furthest away, then the Culprit, and the yarn in circle 1. The shot's 250 feet straight through this gap. What I'm going to actually try and do is go around the outside with the forehand. It's going to be a power forehand, and we're going to see how these handle it. Let's start out first with the zone.
Daddy, 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 Daddy. Daddy.
That was pretty good.
Daddy.
Next.
Daddy.
Yeah, I'm throwing.
More power too.
You want one?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. Here.
Daddy.
Welcome. Next we got the yarn.
Daddy. More power.
Lastly, Culprit. We'll see where those end up. All right, all felt pretty decent. There's my Culprit and zone. And then here's my yarn. It's the closest. Look at this die, by the way. Shout out to We Die You Fly for this, I guess, aging tree stamp. Looks great. This one with the forehand again. The short. I'm gonna try to go a little bit of flex, see if I can dunk one in, because I haven't really had a good attempt yet. Start with the yarn. Okay, nice overstable. Love that. Zone's next. This is the culprit. That one flattened out, tried to fight back, but definitely the most overstable of them all is the yarn. All right, guys, back at the house, and I have my 3 approach putters. I had a difficult time making a decision, but I have one. Of the 3, the bottom of this list, sadly, let's Get Greaky Zone. It was just too straight. Maybe I should have tried the Zone OS, but I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of Zone OSs for backups when I have others that work perfectly well. This disc was just too straight for me. It feels, I mean, it's a zone, so it feels super comfortable, both forehand, backhand, but it's just a little too straight, and so this one's got to go. I need something more stable than this. So now we are down to these 2 discs, the Chris Clemens Culprit and this Kastaplast Yarn. And if you look at the flight plate of both of these, they are so similar. The parting line is almost exactly the same, and the aggressiveness of the flight plate is pretty similar. They're roughly the same size as well. Maybe the yarn is a little bit wider, but not by much. So benefits to both. I think the Culprit was more overstable, but I could throw the yarn further. And if I would back off the yarn on a backhand drive or a forehand drive, then it still gets that overstability that the Culprit provides. I have multiples of both of these, so really you kind of can choose either one and you're going to be great. But for me, as a Kastaplast player, obviously, I'm going to go with the yarn. It was a pretty easy decision. If I have a disc that is similar to what a Kastaplast disc does, there's no reason for one of my 3 molds that aren't Kastaplast that I put in my bag to be one that the Kastaplast lineup has, and the yarn is it. The yarn I can throw pretty far. I can throw this about 300, 320. If I put a lot of power behind it, I can put flex lines in it. I even have this really nice baseline K3 plastic yarn that is beat up and is feeling great and flying so good. So I've really enjoyed the yarn. The yarn is going to be my overstable approach putter for 2024, and really excited for what's next. I'm going to be looking at mid-ranges next. So make sure you tune in for part 3 of building the bag, where I go through different mid-ranges. But until then, make sure you guys keep doing all the YouTube things, like, share, subscribe. And until next time, keep learning the game of disc golf. See you guys.